You are now in tune with
Mamba Radio.
Alright, what up, everybody? Thank you for tuning into Brown Mamba Radio. For those out there who don't know, my name is Jackson, and happy Aloha Friday to everybody out there. Happy Rusev Day, and also happy World Ocean Day. Quick side note, stop polluting in the oceans, man. You know what I mean? It's the only planet we got, so far at least. So stop polluting the ocean, stop throwing your waste out and all that shit, and because everything ends up back in the ocean, I like going to the beach. I know you guys like going to the beach. A lot of beautiful animals live at the beach and live in that ocean. So please, it's like I said, it's the only one we got. So, and I'm lucky enough to live right by a beach. So, like I said, I'm very blessed and I'm very appreciative of it. And I do what I can to help take care of it. And I believe that you should too. So again, happy World Ocean Day. Take care of the ocean. Stop polluting. You know what I mean? All that stuff. So, and yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed your week. Pretty long week, I have to say. You know what I mean? Especially since we had a short week last week. This week, weeks usually feel a little bit longer. Got a lot to get through today. And so, like I said, just gonna, obviously need to talk about everything in sports. A lot going on in sports. And then some other stuff to get to from some kind of sad stuff that happened this week. But yeah, first things first, let's get through with the sports. Obviously, the NBA Finals. Game 3 was on Wednesday. Huge win for the Warriors. 110 to 102. They took care of business in Cleveland, and the Warriors are looking for the sweep tonight. Looking for the sweep, getting the brooms out. I know a lot of the Bay Area fans are getting their brooms ready. Quite frankly, a lot of people are getting their brooms ready. It doesn't look too good for the Cavs at this point. Because, like I said, Game 3 was huge for the series. And both teams knew, how important that this game was, especially the Cavs and LeBron. Like I said, especially after they let Game 1 slip away, that was the hugest win for them. They squandered that opportunity to get a win in Oakland against the Warriors. And like I said, so they said, all right, if we couldn't get Game 1, we got to get Game 3. LeBron did everything he could. He came away, huge game for LeBron, like always, with a triple-double this time. 33 points, 11 assists, 10 boards. Played 47 minutes. 47 minutes. And he's probably going to have to play all 48 tonight if they're going to want to win. It's just not looking good for them, and then, there's nothing I said, there's not a whole lot of analysis to really break these games down. It's pretty self-explanatory, and there's not a whole lot of, nuance or anything, or any kind of details that people got to go through or anything. It's pretty much, it is what it is. Like I said, it was huge. Like I said, the game was huge and game was super important to Cavs and LeBron. LeBron did everything he could. But the Warriors knew this also. You know what I mean? And they tried to really, bring out the big guns. Like I said, you always want to win the games, obviously, especially in the finals. But like this game, like I said, this game was huge because the Warriors knew that the Cavs wanted to come out and set the tempo, get a big win, get some momentum, and build that, build the momentum so that that means they have to go back to Oakland and all that stuff. Warriors knew that, trying to nip it in the bud, and they try to bring out the big guns. You know what I mean? They brought back Iggy, who missed, I think, 6 games in a row, something like that. But he missed a lot of games. But they brought back Iggy, who did pretty well. Whereas he came off the bench though, played 22 minutes though. So I mean, even though he came off the bench, he got starter minutes, whatever one of those things. Anyway, but he played pretty well. You know what I mean? Did his thing. Obviously, KD stepped the fuck up, which I'll get to. But KD stepped up. They tried to just nip that shit in the bud and just keep the pedal to the metal and just keep going. It wasn't, the most Warriors-like game, but KD, man, KD, the story of Game 3 is KD, just fucking monster game. Easily the best game of his career, in my opinion, and I know in the opinions of a lot of others out there. But KD, huge game for KD. Like I said, especially when not just, I know everyone's, Steph's getting a lot of a lot of shit for whatever for not playing that well, but just overall not a Warriors like game. Like I said, listen, Draymond Green only 10 points. 4 for 8. Played 40 minutes and only shot 8 times. But like I said, again, when Kevin Durant was playing the way he was playing, not a lot of people were like, "Hey, give me the ball, let me shoot." But I said only 10 points for Draymond, 10 points for Clay, 4 of 11. 10 points for JaVale McGee, 11 points for Steph. That's, like I said, not a very typical Warrior stat line, but KD, man, that, like I said, KD did it all. 43 points, 13 boards, 7 assists, and just lights out from the field. 15 for 23 overall, 6 for 9 from 3-point land with the absolute dagger, through the heart of not just the game, but potentially the series and the finals as a whole. And it was from that same spot that he did it last year, where he hit that dagger. So pretty crazy, poetic, deja vu, whatever you want to call it. But it was like I said, it was just a dagger, you know what I mean? And like I said, it's just adding to just almost cementing that it's just like completely done for the Cavs, which is pretty sad already. Like I said, the KD's dagger in Game 3, Steph hitting all those, setting the record for the amount of threes in Game 2, with 9 threes. Another fucking huge step back, and then also just the J.R. Smith mistake in Game 1, on top of all that, kind of setting the tempo for the setting it all in motion for kind of just like, oh shit, like it looks like they don't really have a chance anymore. And like I said, I'm not one to, anything is possible. I'm not one to just jump the gun early, but like I said, it just looks like this one's over. Like I said, LeBron's doing it all, and like I said, 51 in Game 1, huge, and they still lost. Big Game 2, the triple double, on Wednesday. Like I said, all still losing. You know what I mean? And it's just not getting enough help. And I know Kevin Love is playing very well. He's like averaging a double with like 20 points at least in every game so far. Like I said, Kevin Love is playing very well. Probably stepping up because he's like, listen, man, I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm kind of jumping ahead here a little, but it looks like he's thinking, I don't know what's gonna happen with this team going forward. I don't know if LeBron's gonna be here. I don't know if I'm gonna be here. I don't know what's gonna happen. So I'm just gonna play my ass off and let everybody know that I still got it. So I'm playing for. I'm just showcasing for all these other teams, letting them know, hey man, I still got this shit. So if you guys need somebody, I'm ready to come aboard. So. But yeah, Kevin Love's playing well, and then the big thing, all the other big thing coming out of Game 3 was the performance by Rodney Hood, coming off the bench, 26 minutes, 15 points, 6 boards. He just played. He was just the spark plug that they kind of needed, or the Cavs kind of needed, and it's just like people are, saying this and that, and Rodney Hood this, and why did he play earlier? And he was such a big help for the Cavs. It's like, first of all, he only scored 15 points. Second of all, he didn't even want to play in other games, and third of all, and probably in my opinion the most important thing is, they're all trying to say this about Rodney Hood, but if Rodney Hood is the guy who your fan base or all these people or whoever else, all these talking heads and all this stuff, all those guys, if Rodney Hood is the guy that they're complaining about for not getting enough minutes, then your team, I'm sorry, but your team was doomed from the start. Like their team didn't have a chance. If Rodney Hood is the guy people are complaining about like that, then I'm sorry. And yeah, but I mean, hey, listen, like I said, anything is possible. You know what I mean? Cavs still haven't had that game. Like I said, we've seen it before. Though we know they got it in them, where they just hit all their threes, or it has, more likely, and they gotta have a combination of it. They get all the calls. So like I said, it can happen. It's anything can happen. And also, little thing I want to throw out there: don't sleep on the Warriors. Not necessarily throwing the game, or taking it off, but just kind of, hey, let's try these things and do this or do whatever. You know what I mean? Like, do something like that so that they can go back and win in the Bay Area. Don't sleep on that. And if you're of the gambling type, Cleveland is getting 4.5 points. So, and a 1 plus 155 on the money line. So, like I said, the Cavs don't want to go home. The Warriors might want to go home. So, like I said, if you got some a little extra dough lying around and you feel like making some mo, I'm not out here giving away, preaching the gospel or anything, or don't take my word for Mortis Bond or anything like that. So, because trust me, I've had plenty of bad beats, but I'm just throwing that out there that it might be a possibility, and it, so, but like I said, if despite all that, like I said, but honestly, chances are it's going to be a sweep tonight. I'm saving a lot. I'm just going to, like I said, again, tease these questions first, just to kind of put them out there. And like I said, they're not anything really new or anything like that, but just want to put it out there for my listeners and stuff like that who might not have heard of them or anything like that. But there's going to be a lot of questions after this game, assuming that the Warriors win and sweep and, get their third title in 4 years. It's the obvious one is where does LeBron go? That's the biggest one. That's all. No matter what, even if the Cavs come back and win, it's going to be, where does LeBron go? Does he stay with the Cavs? Does he go to the Lakers? There's talks now about that he might go to Houston, and then even crazier is that they're talking about him going to Boston. That's crazy. So like I said, there's a whole bunch of stuff in the air. Regarding LeBron. But like I said, that's the obvious one. But the other ones, it's kind of both on both sides. It's what should the Cavs and Warriors do going forward. With the Cavs, like I said, it all depends on LeBron, really. It's like if LeBron, so that's kind of a little more unstable, I guess I don't know how to really phrase it at this point, but it's just like, a lot of it all depends on LeBron. It's like which direction that the Cavs go. Similar to how it was before he left, before he made the decision, you know what I mean? People weren't sure, all this stuff like that. So, that's, what the Cavs do. And then same thing with same thing with the Warriors though, but a lot of it is what should they do or what do they do, you know what I mean? Are they going to be able to keep, all the guys on the team? Are they going to be able to keep, are they going to be able to afford to keep Steph, Clay, Draymond, and KD? It's almost as if like Steph is a lock to stay. KD says he's going to re-sign, or he wants to re-sign. He mentioned that with Richard Nichols. I'm kind of jumping ahead again, but he said he wants to stay. Or he plans to re-sign this summer. But then, do they keep Draymond? Do they keep Clay? Do they keep some of the other guys? You know what I mean? And so, like I said, there's a lot going on there. And then also, like I said, I mentioned it a few episodes ago. Is this Steve Kerr's last year coaching the Warriors? Does Steve Kerr want to keep up with the grind of coaching and dealing with the media and the stress of travel, especially because he got the bad back? So there's a lot of questions like that. But like I said, I'm just throwing that out there for right now. And of course, this is all assuming that the Warriors win tonight. So it's just a matter of time at this point. So yeah, you know what I mean, and best of luck to the Cavs tonight. They're definitely gonna need it. So but yeah, that's how basketball is going. Moving on to baseball, Dodgers baby, the boys in blue. A little nervous there at the beginning of the year, but arguably the Dodgers got to be the hottest team in baseball right now. They have to be. There's no way that anyone is hotter than them right now. They've won the last 15 of their last 20. They swept the Rockies. They took care of business on the road, also in Pittsburgh with 2 huge wins. You know what I mean? And it's all as well with the boys in blue. So they got their power. Power looks like it came back. Matt Kemp, man, still lights out. Matt Kemp, swinging the bat really well. Jock Peterson swinging the bat really well. Bellinger swinging the bat really well. Like I said, hitting for power. But they're also getting it done the old-fashioned way. You know what I mean? A lot of base, like I said, you see their hit numbers are up. A lot of base hits. Finding gaps, putting the ball in play, making the defense have to make a play, stuff like that. I saw they had a great squeeze play that completely caught the Pirates off guard. Great play. I love small ball. Like as much as when I played, I was always a bigger guy and I would hit for power, but I always made sure I knew how to bunt. I always made sure I understood situational baseball, and trust me, as much as I love, crushing the ball deep, because Lord knows chicks dig the long ball, but there's something special about just playing small ball like that, being able to lay a bunt down as a big guy, laying a bunt down, moving the runners over, doing your job, all that stuff. So like I said, just real baseball nerd shit. So and the Dodgers are getting to it. You know what I mean? They're like I said, it looks like they're getting back on track. And the pitching, like I said, the pitching is a huge part of that as well. Looking very, very good, despite losing pretty much all 4 of their top guys. Kershaw went back on the DL. Rich Hill's been in and out of the DL. Kenta Maeda just went to the DL. Hyunjin Ryu had to go back on the DL. And if you go look at the Dodgers, if you look at the Dodgers pitching roster right now, I highly recommend you do so. If you can name 4 guys off the top of your head, or if you look at that roster and you can tell me, oh yeah, I know 5 of these guys off the top of your head, like without having to look them up or think like, who is that guy again? Then trust me, then you are a real Dodger fan, because I'm telling you, these guys, they are just getting it done. That is quite the crew, but like I said, they're getting it done. And the only thing with that, as cool as that is, these guys, a lot of young guys, that's the thing, they're very young, stepping up, making the most of their opportunities. Guys like Walker Buehler, a lot of the other young guys like Stripling, Wood, a lot of the young relievers that they're calling up to help, get things going. But whenever that happens, the big question is always, how long can they sustain this? You know what I mean? And how long can they, do all this before the bigger question comes into play of, okay, how long can we wait for our main guys to come back before we think, okay, maybe this is more serious than we thought with Rich Hill or with Maeda or Ryu or Kershaw or whoever else, and maybe they might have to make a move for another arm. That's kind of the question that I've seen, on like Reddit and Twitter and Dodgers Nation and all that stuff like that. So, like I said, for now it's good. But like I said, at the same time, it wouldn't be wise to just dismiss that option as well. But Dodgers, like I said, they just finished up a series in Pittsburgh. They're gonna be back home for a little while, starting tonight or this weekend with the Braves. Should be some good games, especially with all the young talent that's brewing down there in Atlanta. And so, like I said, I'm going to try to see a game, but if I can't go this week, I'm definitely going next weekend when they play the Yucky Giants. So hopefully I'll see you guys there. That'd be cool. And again, moving down the 5 to the Angels. Not doing so bad themselves. They just swept the Royals at home. They're still playing well. Mike Trout's still a front runner for MVP. And like I said, they went through a little rough patch themselves. Not as bad as the Dodgers were, but a little rough patch for that little road trip. But like I said, they're nothing better than home cooking. They liked being back at home. Swept the Royals. But they got another little road trip coming up for the next week or so. So like I said, hopefully they can, use a little bit of this momentum and fix those road woes. But the bigger, not quite big yet, but the news that came out the other day, Ohtani had to leave the game early. He's having blister problems on his pitching hand as well. Like I said, he had to leave the game early. They're not sure if they're going to put him on the DL yet. But either way, this is not good. Hopefully, he doesn't have to go to the DL. Like I said, Ohtani is one of the bright spots of not just the team but the year so far overall in baseball. Getting it done, DHing, pitching. So it's if he does have to end up going to the deal, that's going to really suck. Like I said, for just a lot of reasons. But yeah, that's how baseball went. And then just moving quickly through wrestling. Again, it just needs to be Money in the Bank already. There's just so much stuff going on that I don't even want. I don't really care about at this point. They're just like filler matches and stuff. It just needs to be Money in the Bank already, and not much else I can talk about with WWE. But as wrestling overall, Best of the Super Juniors finished up this week, which was really great. Hiromu Takahashi, honestly, probably one of my favorite non-WWE wrestlers right now, came away as the king of the Super Juniors, in a really, really good match with Ishimori. But listen, like I've said this plenty of times before. Dave Meltzer is not the be-all, end-all of wrestling, or wrestling reviewing and criticism and stuff like that. But I thought it was a good match. I don't think it deserved the 5.5 stars that he gave it. But like I said, it was a good match nonetheless. Like I said, he broke the 5-star or the star rating system again, or whatever. But whatever. It's still a good match. The whole tournament was pretty good from the highlights that I saw and stuff like that. Also, Saturday is Dominion for New Japan, which is like the equivalent of WWE's like SummerSlam or Survivor Show. I guess SummerSlam is like the second biggest show that they have, and yeah, it's gonna be this Saturday. Big matches there. But most notably, Chris Jericho and Naito are going at it again, or not going at it again, excuse me, but rekindling their feud that supposedly supposed to happen earlier. But like I said, that should be a great match. And then also we're gonna get Okada and Omega part, I don't know, 5 I think at this point now. So like I said, it should be a good card, good match, or good stuff going on. So take a look at that. Also, the CM Punk stuff that happened. He had the CM Punk trial where he was suing the WWE for was it malpractice for not diagnosing with a staph infection, and then the doctor countersued him and Colt Cabana for putting slandering his name or whatever and stuff like that. So that it was messy. But ultimately it worked out in favor of CM Punk and Colt Cabana. So like I said, props to them for getting their justice, I guess. And also, he got the fight, I think, this week, next week, I can't remember, but he's got the fight also coming up, so I guess stay tuned for that. That's it for wrestling, I believe. Man, I really got to start taking better notes from stuff throughout the week. But I guess this is like a transition, I guess I could do from between sports news, from going into the news things side of things. So with the NFL, most notably this week, as most of us already know, Donald Trump uninvited the Eagles to the White House, in which they didn't even want to go to anyway, which made it a big fucking joke. Like I said, it's already been beat to death about the whole thing and how much of a joke that Trump is and everyone involved with Trump is, and this whole situation is such a joke, and you know what I mean. So I've talked about it enough. I'm tired of talking about it. Unless something crazy happens, but ultimately we stand with Cap. I'm with the Eagles in this as well. Trump and Fox News and all those guys are just fucking manipulating the situation for their benefit to push their own agenda. And then the big thing with Fox News was they were using, because the whole thing with the Eagles were uninvited because they said that they don't respect the flag and this and that. No, they don't. They do respect the flag. They just don't respect you piece of shit, Donald Trump. And everything that you stand for, and all the people that that ride for you. They don't respect you. They don't, or anything like that. And they never kneeled for the anthem the way that Kaepernick, and so many others have. And so he uninvited them, but they, like I said, none of them ever kneeled for the anthem. They just stand with their hands up, their fists up, and all that, and they're just very outspoken about it, and they stand with Cap, Malcolm Jenkins, Chris Long, a lot of guys on the team and everywhere else. Anyway, so they like I said, the whole point is they've never actually kneeled for the anthem, and so Fox was using pictures of players kneeling on the field, but in prayer before the game, before anything even happens, and they're using that. And they came out and said, "Oh, actually, we made a mistake." Blah blah blah. They knew. They had to have known. They can't be that arrogant. They're just, like I said, it's just typical Fox News, trying to manipulate their media or manipulate their followers and completely just spread fake news. And so it's just a big fucking joke. And like I said, I'm over it. And then Malcolm Jenkins, his response was incredible. He didn't say anything because he didn't want anyone to misconstrue his words, and he just held up signs highlighting issues that he feels need to be brought to light. It's about the prison system, about police shootings, about Kaepernick himself, and how he's donated money out of his own pocket to raise awareness and help people in need. And the saddest thing of all, as amazing as it was, the saddest thing of all was that he knew that people were going to ask stupid questions like, why aren't you speaking? What is this? So he had a sign ready that says, "You're not listening," because, like I said, he knew that people were going to ask stupid questions, which is so sad because it's so sad on so many levels. One, that he knew that it just shows that it shows the state that sports journalism is in, or shows the state that journalism is in as a whole. It shows the state that sports journalism is as a whole, and there's a whole other thing going on. I can go on. I can do a whole episode just on as an unqualified wannabe kind of sports journalist. I guess this is a form of journalism. As a wannabe journalist, I guess you could call me. I do have a lot of issues with the way that mainly sports journalism, air quotes, is or the state of it as we speak at this point in 2018. And he like I said, he knew that people were going to be stupid and ask stupid questions, and ask questions that deter from the greater point, which is the stuff that he's trying to the points he's trying to make. And it's just that little clip of him holding up the signs and all the people asking him the other questions is this whole issue of what Kaepernick is kneeling for and everything around that in a nutshell. It's just a microcosm of it, where these are the issues that need to be addressed. These are the questions that need to be asked. These are the questions that need answers. However, the outsiders are asking the wrong questions and making the focus about the wrong things. The headlines are Malcolm Jenkins refuses to speak. Malcolm Jenkins holds sign. Malcolm Jenkins, it makes it about Malcolm Jenkins when it should be, Malcolm Jenkins shedding light on these issues. Malcolm Jenkins bringing awareness to these issues. Here's what they are, and here's so. It's just very frustrating. It's so frustrating. I just gotta move on already. So that's also what happened. Back to just plain sports with relating to the NFL. Julian Edelman, big news from Patriots town. Julian Edelman has been suspended for 4 games beginning of next season for violating the PED policy. Big news for the Patriots. And I didn't see who specifically reported it, but it got around, and obviously Adam Schefter and all that stuff. But the initial report was that the person who leaked the story said that it was Julian Edelman, and then also later on teased that there's a rumor that a bigger story is coming down the chute. Some people are saying it's involving Gronk. Some people are saying it might also be involving those PEDs with someone else. No one's really sure. So it's all everything is going crazy right now in Patstown. It's like I said, pretty crazy. Like I said, it's I haven't seen anything yet as of this point. It's still like mid-afternoon or like late morning, early mid-afternoonish kind of time right about now as the time I'm recording. So I haven't seen anything yet. Just all the speculations, the initial thing about about Gronk and whatever. So and then there's that, and then there's, like I hinted at earlier, KD says he plans to re-sign with the Warriors in this summer, which it was kind of expected. He'll figure out what to do later. He's doing the LeBron thing where he's like maybe just resigning for a year or two at a time and trying to figure it out as he goes. And so, like I said, it's good news for Warriors fans, good news for KD fans, and good news for KD himself. You know, we all know how much he loves the Bay Area, on and off the court, and yeah, don't think I forgot. With the Washington Capitals, they did it finally. They won the Stanley Cup, their first win, I believe, in their first Stanley Cup victory in team history, I believe, in their first appearance since about the 70s. Like I said, shout out to Mike Rappaport. We don't fact check around here. I don't fact check around here, especially with, you know, hockey. I'm not the biggest hockey fan, but like I do like the game of hockey. You know, I just don't watch it as much as, I don't know, maybe as much as I'd like to, as much as I should and stuff. But I know it's great, and you know, big news, big thing for Capitals fans, big things for NHL fans, and big things for hockey fans everywhere. You know what I mean? It's a big moment, big thing for the DMV area, Washington area, and so it's a big moment. Congrats to all you guys. Oh, and Alex Ovechkin won the Conn Smythe, which for you non-hockey fans out there is like the Finals MVP, essentially, or the Stanley Cup Finals MVP. So Ovechkin won that, and again, just congrats to all the Caps players, everyone in the organization, and every past and present, and congrats to all the Caps fans out there who've been waiting a long time for this. So, like I said, it's a good moment, good, nice, feel good moment and stuff like that. So it's great. Other news, kind of wrapping this thing up a little bit. In other news, big music news. A lot of music stuff going on today, but big music news. Lil Wayne is, for those of you who don't know, has been tied up with publishing rights issues for quite some time now, for the past few years. It's kind of long and messy, but long story short, essentially, Lil Wayne was kind of getting screwed over by Baby or Birdman from Cash Money. Essentially when is the story, as we most of us know the story that, Birdman found Lil Wayne, signed him when he was young, and then when he did all that, he kind of manipulated his it's an age-old story. It's not a new story. It's just sad that it had to happen with, you always hear it with like the rich white executives taking advantage of the poor minorities and their situation and whatever. But in this case, it's kind of extra sad because it's Birdman doing the same thing to Lil Wayne. But essentially that's what happened. Birdman took advantage of Lil Wayne, and when they did the contracts and all that stuff, he essentially made it so that, or Birdman made it so that he has control over, Lil Wayne's publishing rights and stuff like that. So, and it worked out for them in the beginning, but once like the streaming stuff hit, like iTunes and Spotify and, SoundCloud and all these things where they, they have to, they sell the music rights, essentially Birdman and then whoever owns Birdman, whatever, so kind of thing. It's, in this case, it's UMG, Universal Music Group. They essentially own Lil Wayne's music library, which is why it's hard to find Lil Wayne music out there. They were and which is also why you haven't heard a lot of Lil Wayne's music. All you hear is a feature every now and then. Hasn't been a whole lot of new Lil Wayne music put out. But that's not the case anymore. Like I said, there was a big lawsuit going on. Lil Wayne sued Birdman and UMG for, I think, like $40 million. They reached a settlement, and to have rights to his stuff back and all this stuff. And it was a big mess. And like I said, long story short, it got resolved this past week. And essentially, Lil Wayne, is free from the shackles of Young Money and Cash Money and Birdman and UMG and all that stuff. So we're gonna get the Carter 5, which is what everyone's been waiting for. A lot of people waiting for Carter 5, and just other. I'm sure that means other music is coming out too. So this is good news for Lil Wayne fans, for real Lil Wayne fans who've been waiting for a while for this. And I know a lot of people, like a lot maybe younger people. And when I say younger, I'm assuming I'm going to say like high school now, or maybe just out of high school, or SoundCloud rapper fans, don't really like, or all they know is like, like Shake Junt and like Weird Skater kind of just like Lil Wayne. They only know him as this pop culture figure. They don't actually know him as a rapper. But someone like me who was in high school and really developing my love for hip hop and music in general, but mainly like hip hop and rap, you know, Lil Wayne was the fucking man. You know what I'm telling you, like Lil Wayne, like if just do your Googles, man. Just go back, get all the mixtapes, all the mixtapes, all the albums, just go back and listen. I mean, like all the Carters, is it the Carter 1, 2, 3, go get No Ceilings, go get all the mixtapes, everything, man. It's good shit. And it was literally, just imagine every hot radio song that comes out, or every single song that comes out that's hot, Lil Wayne just got on all the beats. Like everything. He would just get on all the beats. So everyone credits Gucci Mane for that, for putting out mixtapes and stuff all the time. But Gucci Mane, in an interview, I can't remember which one he did, he talked about it, but he said he did that because Lil Wayne was doing that. And he's like, I got to compete with this guy because he's doing all this down in Louisiana. I'm over here in Atlanta, you know what I mean, doing the same. So I got to compete with him, and if he's putting that stuff out, I got to put that stuff out. And so, yeah, man, just go back, do yourself a favor, do your Googles, and you know, just like I said, go listen to old Lil Wayne, get yourself fired up for the new stuff that's coming out. And like I said, just happy for Lil Wayne, and happy for Lil Wayne fans everywhere that this is finally over. We can just, you know, hopefully get back to rapping Lil Wayne and stuff like that again. Excuse me. But yeah, speaking of music, it's New Music Friday. A lot of huge music coming out. Obviously, the most talked about one, Kids See Ghosts, the collaborative project from Kid Cudi and Kanye West. You know, Kanye West's second project put out in as many weeks, and it's lived up to the hype. It took a while to get there, but it's good. I've listened to it a couple times already. I like it. I gotta go back and listen to it some more, and like I said, really digest it. But just like anything that Kanye does, you know, with Kanye attached to it, it's gonna take some time to adjust to the Kanye stuff. But Kid Cudi picked up where he left off. Sounds like old Cudi. It's good to hear him again, and all his humming and his harmonies and all that stuff, man. It's great. Like I said, I'm just happy it's here. I wish the merch was a little cheaper, but hey, beggars can't be choosers. But like I said, we're just happy that Kid Cudi's back. He's in a good place mentally to be able to put music out like this, and so it's good to have that. So check out Kids See Ghosts. Georgia Smith, finally, my boo, Georgia Smith. She put out her debut album, Lost and Found. It's great. Go ahead and listen to it. Like I said, you know, if you want to turn up, listen to the Kanye stuff. Or not even really turn up. If you want to, you know, feel upbeat, listen to that. If you want to cool down, relax, maybe, you know what I mean, settle down with that special someone, listen to some Georgia Smith. You know what I mean? Like I said, so go listen to that. It's great. She's one of the next big things coming out. So, like I said, listen to the new Georgia Smith, Lost and Found. Fat Nick just put a new project out too, Generation Numb, Fat Nick. If for those of you who aren't aware, Puya's big homie, or big, like, as in, like, fat, sorry, but Puya's little, it's in his name, Fat Nick. Puya's Puya's friend with the dreads, and he's the big guy. So like I said, Fat Nick, Generation Numb. Fat Nick is tight. He put that shit out. Another project that came out that I like, a guy that I like, Kiefer. You might know him as Keef Daddy Supreme on Instagram and stuff like that. But Kiefer put out his project, Happy Sad. Kiefer is a great musician, great, you know, artist, and like I said, I'm a big fan of his. He works a lot with Stone's Throw, does a lot of stuff with Low End Theory and stuff like that, which also, damn, I forgot to mention this. Like I said, I gotta take better notes, but Low End Theory announced this week that they will be rapping. They'll be shutting down the Low End Theory parties here in LA in the next couple months. So that's very, very sad, very, very sad news. You know, a lot of you, I don't know how it is other places. I'm sure it's like that other places, but at least here in the LA area, the Low End Theory was like the first like hip hop party, essentially what you would call it, a party, but it's like the first hip hop or dedicated to hip hop party, and other experimental music too, but mainly hip hop that was going on when a lot of the things were like underground rave parties and rave shows and stuff like that. That in that spirit and in that style or whatever. Like I said, Low End Theory, like back in like 2006, 2007, I believe, was like the first of first of its kind. And like I said, there's a ton of parties like that at all the different bars here in LA. You go anywhere from, down maybe in down to Long Beach all the way up to, the Valley and everywhere in between, and as far east as, East Los or anything, but just as far as the hip hop parties everywhere at these different bars and clubs or whatever. You can find them anywhere. Stuff like 143. Big fan of 143. Other like underground parties like that. Just Low End Theory really set the precedent and started that. And like I said, it's just sad to see it go. So you best believe I'm gonna be there. Hopefully, I'll see you guys there too at some of the last ones. But I guess it's kind of Happy Sad is the name of the project that Kiefer's putting out, and it's kind of a perfect summation of it. So it's so like I said, but that's great. It's good. He does a lot of like really cool stuff. He makes his own beats, plays the piano really, really good on the keys. So check that out by Kiefer. Some good singles that came out. We got a new single by Tyler the Creator, 435. Hopefully that leads to more new music. I liked it. It sounds like more older Tyler, like when he was in high school, like when I first started hearing him. Shout out to my brother for putting me on to Tyler back in the day. Tyler's got a new song. New Jeremiah and Ty Dolla $ign. That song, The Light, that shit is fucking fire. Listen to that. That's definitely one of the summer jams, like all summer long. So listen to that one. New 88 Rising, collaborative effort from Joji and what's it? It's not Rich Chigga anymore. Rich Brian. Rich Brian is on it. Higher Brothers. August is on it. So like I said, it's good. It's cool. Midsummer Madness, another summer song. That's like the more like slowed down, chilled out summer song. Maybe you listen to that when the sun's going down or on those lonely summer nights kind of thing. That's a good one. And then J-Rock got some new songs too, or a new song out, The Bloodiest. That song is tight. I know he put some other music out pretty recently as well. And you can also pre-order his new project is on the way. So shout out to J-Rock and shout out to Top Dog in general, man. Top Dog is just taking over. And so, like I said, that's it. Like, really for music, other good stuff to listen to. Like I said, I listen to a lot of podcasts as well throughout the week, and some good ones that I've been listening to. Obviously, the guy that inspired me to do this whole thing, Bill Simmons, the BS Pod. 2 great ones this week with Jalen Rose. You know what I mean? His good old buddy Jalen Rose. We miss Jalen. We miss Bill and Jalen, but they got a good episode together. And crazy, it's good, and it's the one that Bill Simmons said himself that is his favorite. That he's ever done. The one that came out late last night, early this morning with Charles Oakley. It's really good. They're both really good listens. I suggest that one, or those ones, excuse me. Also, Doris Burke, another one of my bays. And Doris Burke appeared on the Low Post with Zach Lowe through ESPN. That's a good one. Listen to that. DDP was on Steve Austin's pod talking about stuff, and then DDP finally got Steve Austin to do some yoga with him. So that was great. That's a great listen. What else is there? Oh, Dissect is back. They've been back for it's been back for a couple weeks now, but they got a new episode out. And Dissect is probably my new favorite podcast. Like straight up, I love this podcast. It's great. I forget the guy's name off the top of my head. God dang it! But shout out to him because he also has a nasally voice on the microphone, kind of like I do. So shout out to him. And Dissect is back, and this season, what Dissect does is he dissects his favorite hip hop albums or hip hop artists and stuff, and he started with Kendrick Lamar and did The Pimp a Butterfly. It's great. That one caught a lot of buzz. Then he ended up doing a lot of Kanye stuff. So he focused on the artist, but mainly tried to focus on one album. But then with Kanye, he did kind of a few different songs from a few different albums, but mainly from the new Kanye, I guess what people would consider it. And then now he's breaking down Frank Ocean, Channel Orange, a masterpiece in and of itself. And so, like I said, it's great. They're on the 3rd episode, so go ahead and check that out. Dissect. I really love Dissect. And then with the food stuff, I love food. Bon appetit for all my freaking vegans and vegetarians out there. They break down how you can enjoy veggies this summer. Different ways you can grill them. Nice salads, different things you can do with the veggies. Because summertime, it's all about the grill. But when you hear grill, you used to think hamburgers and hot dogs and steaks and barbecue chicken and stuff like that. But you can grill veggies too. And don't trust me, they're very, very good. So like I said, check that out. APL was on House of Carbs. Shout out to Joe House. APL being Adam Perry Lang, the American steak meat master, talking meat, and his new restaurant here in LA that I'm gonna definitely have to get my ass in there and get on some of that steak. But he goes on there talking about his kind of his journey, as far as going into how he got here and opening up this new restaurant and stuff like that. So it's great, good listen. And then the other one I recommend just dropped this morning, or came back out this morning. The What the Fuck podcast with Mark Maron. He re-aired his Anthony Bourdain interview from 2011, I believe. For obvious reasons, which I'll get to why right now. And I hate to end this on a sad note, but we lost two legends this week to suicide, and it's very, very sad, very sad. Two legends taken away from us way too soon in Kate Spade and Anthony Bourdain. Like I said, it's very sad to hear, especially in nowadays, and it's just tough, as you can tell in my tone of voice. It fucking sucks, and it's just, you need to. It's been talked about to death already, but no pun intended. Oh, geez, that was a horrible choice of words there, but just reach out to somebody, even if you think that they're doing fine. I thought Anthony Bourdain was doing fine. He was posting a lot of stuff on social media, on Instagram. He was filming his new I believe he's filming the new season of No Reservations in France. One of his favorite places to go. And he'd always post about how in love he was with his new girlfriend. But you just never know. So like I said, just take the time to tell the people that you love them. Tell them, even if they seem like they're doing fine, just always ask, hey, how you doing? And really, mean it, and ask them, and be willing to go in depth with them. If they actually say something like, hey, actually, you know what? I got this going on. Be willing to talk to them, be open and stuff. It's not easy, man. It's not easy. So, and for anyone out there who needs help, hey, listen, I don't even know not many people listen to this, but for those of you who do, I appreciate it. And if you need help, you can always reach out to me. I know I kind of joke around a lot and stuff and whatever, but as someone who working in the line of work that I do, I see a lot of people who are affected by this and affected by stress and depression and anxiety and addiction and all the stuff that comes with all those different vices and all that stuff. And the reason why I do what I do is because I want to help them, and I just like to help people in general as much as I can. And sometimes just talking with someone is all the help that they need. And if you need help and you need to just talk, you can always talk to me, whether it's, you can just hit me up on social medias. You can do any of that stuff. If any of my friends are out there listening, and if you're going through something and you don't know where to go, you can come to me, and I'm not, but you guys know me. My friends out there, if they're listening and they know me, they know that they can talk to me about anything. They know that I'm as open as an open book can be. And and if for whatever reason you're just too ashamed or too embarrassed, there's always the suicide prevention hotline. Call it 1-800-273-8255. There's no shame in it. Trust me, there is no shame in it. And so it's just it's just like any mental illness, and mental health is just like any other health. If you break a bone or anything like that, you go get help. This is no different. If you're going through something, go get help, and help is out there. like I said, I hate having to end it on a sad note, but it's also a very important thing because Kate Spade and Anthony Bourdain, they were two very important people to a lot of people. You know, myself included, especially with Anthony Bourdain. But with Kate Spade, I know she got a lot of flack, over the years, for being seen as, air quotes here, like a quote unquote mall brand, or kind of like, they would put her in this category, and her stuff in this category as kind of like not as good as some of the other high fashion designer brands and stuff. But you know what though? Kate Spade was so important to so many girls, especially when they were young. And that's all I was thinking about was, I'm like, wow, man, that's really tough, that sucks to hear. And like I said, because a lot of, that's when I was in like middle school and high school or whatever, I noticed a lot of, some of the girls' first bags, that were like quote unquote designer bags, they had like Kate Spade, or they had a Kate Spade clutch or a bag or something, and it's for a lot of girls, that's what I saw, and a lot of women that I follow on social media, a lot of people that I saw talk about it, they were all said the same thing. They're like, some people were saying, some girls were saying, I got my first job when I was a teenager because I wanted this Kate Spade bag, or Kate Spade was my stepping stone or my bridge into designer stuff, and it was like one of the first things that I begged my parents to spend a little extra money on for me when I was a teenager or when I was in high school or whatever. And for girls, man, that stuff, as a guy, I know I'm different than the average bear, but I empathize with more than, like I said, than the average bear. And it may seem stupid, but fellas, remember the first time you asked your parents for those really expensive pair of shoes? For me, it was a pair of Air Force Ones. For a lot of you, it was Air Force Ones, but for whatever it was, and it was like, oh, I gotta have these shoes. That's what, that feeling when you were a kid that you had, like, please, I gotta have it, or the expensive toy or video game or whatever. That's what a lot of girls were going through, was with their, their bags or, makeup or whatever. And like I said, Kate Spade was one of those brands that a lot of girls, wanted. And it was very important to a lot of them. And, it was, like I said, it's just very sad that she's gone. And Anthony Bourdain, specifically for me, just very, very important, fucking legend, man. Just a fucking legend. I posted stuff on my Instagram and Twitter and stuff about him, and it's just fucking sad, man. It's fucking sad, and it hurts. And Anthony Bourdain is so important for food culture, especially with the food, the food craze that's going on right now, with like social media and Instagram, and there's all, and like Munchies and Eater and all these channels that are on TV and on YouTube and all this stuff, and all the cool cooking shows and all your favorite outdoor cooking shows, like Fuck That's Delicious with Action Bronson, or Fresh Off the, or Wong's World with Eddie Wong, or you see all these different things, like these different people going to different places by themselves that you see on Food Network or Travel Channel or YouTube or whatever, and you see these people traveling the world eating delicious food, and you live vicariously through them. That was Anthony Bourdain with Parts Unknown. And not only was he good for food culture, he was good for culture in general. And I say this all the time when people ask me why I love food so much, and it's because food is the vehicle that we use to learn about culture. And Parts Unknown and No Reservations were Anthony Bourdain's vehicle to teach us about culture through and the people and the history of the people who make that food. He just used his show, and he used their food as the bridge that we can cross to learn about their culture. And that's the as much as people want to oogle over the food porn and stuff, that's what Anthony Bourdain taught me. And I'll be forever grateful to him and the other greats, like him, but him and Andrew Zimmern, two guys that just go to these places that no one would want to go and eat food that no one would want to eat, but they did it as white guys, middle-aged white guys from America, going to these foreign countries, in these little villages, in these little towns, in these little areas, eating the native food and the traditional food, that other people, mainly other like white people, because when the countries that I'm just saying Anthony Bourdain, when countries that Anthony Bourdain would visit, he's the prototypical, that's the American guy that I see, this taller white guy from New York. That's their idea of what an American is. And they have all these stigmas and all these things going in their head of how this guy is going to be. But he shows up and he says, no, listen, I want to learn about you and your culture and your people and your history through your food. I will eat this delicious food and teach me about it. And by them teaching him, they're teaching us, and just everyone's using the same word, the curiosity that he possesses, that he possessed. I say possesses, Jesus, I can't believe, but the curiosity that he had to always want to learn. I'll always be forever grateful for, finding No Reservations and Parts Unknown and stuff like that at the time I did, to make me want to go to because before I used to not care about traveling or whatever. I always loved food, but I was always like, hey, man, I can get this food here. Like, it's not a big deal. But now I want to travel the world and try these things in there. I want to go to France. I want to go to Italy, of course, the big places. But I also want to go to a lot of parts of Asia and just eat the local food and stuff. And I would love to go to Africa and eat African food. I would love to go to South America and eat. Trust me, I would love to eat some good ass Brazilian food and Peruvian food and stuff like that. I just had Peruvian food for lunch the other day. So, but I would, and me personally, like I said, I've said it before about I'm personally. I forever grateful for his wisdom, his spirit, and just his desire to always want to learn more. And because it's inspiring to me, and it's inspiring to so many others. And I said, like I said, I did a little thing on social media already, but I'm going to repeat it here. It's, just thank you, Anthony Bourdain, for inspiring me and so many others out there to stay curious, to want to travel more, and to travel to more places that they've never been, places outside of their comfort zone. To try food, to eat more good food, and to try more food again that's outside of the comfort zone, and to always want to learn more. And like I said, I will be forever grateful to him for that. I went a little more than I wanted to with that, but it's like I said, it's sad. It's sad, and again, I hate to end it on a sad note. But the grieving part's over, and just from now on we should just try to celebrate his life, celebrate her life, and all that they've done for so many people. You already fucking know I'm gonna be watching. I'm going to the In-N-Out that's by LAX, and I'm getting a double animal style for Anthony Bourdain. You better fucking believe that. And I'm gonna be drinking some whiskey tonight, and I'm gonna be coming home and watching a lot of Anthony Bourdain on Netflix. So, and I hope you do too. And I like always, I'm gonna start wrapping it up. Like always, everybody, thank you guys for listening, and girls, thank you for listening. If you like what you heard, make sure you subscribe everywhere you hear podcasts, wherever my podcast is available. SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, YouTube. And like I said, if you want to follow along with me on social media, if you want to say, if you don't agree with me on some things I said, if you do agree with me, if you want to say what's up, or again, like I said, if you just need someone to talk to, follow me, hit me up. My DMs are always open. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr. I don't really check my Tumblr, so I wouldn't suggest that, or my Facebook. Just be honest, but hit me up on Instagram and Twitter if you're gonna hit me up. Instagram and Twitter, Brown Mamba Radio, or my personal stuff, JXCKSXNNN. Yeah, man. It's just if you need someone to talk to, just hit me up. I'm always available. And like always, everything is available on the blog, the site. Shout out to Blog Boys, brownmamba.us. Everything is there. Squarespace, I'm waiting on you. Holla at me. And hopefully you guys have a safe, fun, and responsible weekend. For everyone watching the game tonight, please be safe. Again, enjoy the game. Whoever wins or loses, all the Warriors fans, tip of the cap to you guys in case they win. But again, just be responsible, be safe, but have fun. And it's First Fridays down in Venice, here in LA. I'm heading there pretty soon, or not pretty soon, or once this is done and everything's all taken care of, I'm gonna be heading down there. So maybe I'll see you there. Maybe I'll catch you at a Dodger game this weekend too. Who knows? But like I said, whatever you do this weekend, again, enjoy it, have fun, and be safe and responsible. And always, drink more water. Health is wealth. Be kind to each other. It's easy to be nice. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.